The cyclic form of monosaccharides is known as harworth projection. The reason why we are drawing our monosaccharide in cyclic form is that they are the components of the disaccharides, and disaccharides are drawn in cyclic form because the cyclic form increases the solubility of those disaccharides. So if I talk about increasing the solubility, which will make the disaccharides which are having the components of the cyclic form of the monosaccharides, the solubility is increased. For example, when you have lactose, the milk sugar, the fresh milk, solubility is increased. When you prepare tea in the morning, it easily dissolves. They merge well with water. Another example is sucrose. Sucrose is a disaccharide. Cyclic form, the harworth projection, increased the solubility of those disaccharides because for sucrose, even if you stir that table sugar in a cold water, it will still dissolve. So the cyclic form increased the solubility of those disaccharides. So we have to learn the cyclic form of those monosaccharides which you just know, such that when drawing the disaccharides we'll be able to understand how easy it is to draw the disaccharides, knowing the cyclic form of the monosaccharides. So for all the aldoses, they are going to form a 6-membered ring called pyranose. But for the fructose, because of the presence of the keto group at the second carbon atom, then fructose and other 5 carbon sugars, or the pentoses, will form a 5-membered ring called furanose. Still, at this point, when it forms a 6-membered ring for the aldoses, there is this part which is known as Hemiacetal. The OH at the 5th carbon atom of glucose forms a covalent bond with the aldehyde group at the 1st carbon atom, forming the Hemiacetal. So when a teacher or an examiner tells you to draw alpha D glucose or beta D galactose, being that it's mentioned beta or alpha, don't draw a linear form but draw a cyclic form. For example, if you want to know a beta D glucose, at carbon atom number 1 determines the beta or the alpha of a sugar or of a monosaccharide in cyclic form. If the OH is below the ring, it is an alpha. If the OH is above the ring, it is a beta. So we are twisting our linear D glucose in clockwise direction, such that for D glucose, the OH at carbon atom number 2, which was to the right, now lies outside the ring, balanced with the hydrogen. The OH, which was to the left at carbon atom number 3, now goes inside the ring. Then at carbon atom number 4, it is the same position as number 2. Now the OH has been used to form the hemiacetal here. Carbon atom number 6 sits there, CH2OH. For beta, the same structure is for D-glucose, but now the beta, the hydroxyl group, is above the ring at carbon atom number 1. So that is the difference between beta and alpha. So the Haworth projection, the linear form is the one which is twisted in clockwise direction, so that the OH which were on the right hand side on the linear form of those monosaccharides are now outside the ring, while the ones which were on the left are now inside the ring. Then it's going to form an alpha, which is OH below the ring at carbon atom number 1, or a beta above the ring at carbon atom number 1. So we talked about fructose, the second carbon having the keto group, and other pentoses will form furanose, the 5-membered ring. But still under the 5-membered ring, the OH at carbon atom number 5 will form a covalent bond, intermolecular Hemiketal, which is here. So we have the first carbon atom, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then the 6th one. So at carbon atom number 1 still, if the OH is below, it is an alpha D fructose or fructofuranose, while this one becomes a beta D fructofuranose. Let's see, at carbon atom number 3, the OH is inside because the OH was lying to the left. Then the OH which were lying to the right at carbon atom number 4 will now be outside the ring. At carbon atom number 5, the H remains because the OH has been used in forming the Hemiketal. Then the carbon atom number 6 sits there with CH2